Thanks for stopping by for another episode of Tarot Talks. Today we're going to move on to the fives. Now to jump right in, a little bit of numerology. Number 5 is a very chaotic number. We're building from the foundation of 4. 4 is a very comfortable number, but we all know that when there is times of pleasure and comfort, that does have, it is fleeting, and those times do change. And 5 for me, I feel like is all about learning, and it's all about the choices you make during the periods of hardship. So it's a chaotic number. You're going to see that in the cards. It's an uncomfortable period. Anytime you experience loss or change, you go through this kind of void where you're like, what the fuck? I don't know what I'm feeling, what's happening, what's going to happen, but you're kind of just like going through the motions and the pain. 5 is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is a very curious energy. It's a very curious planet, so it's all about learning everything it can. And number 5 is also about change. It's always changing and always growing. It's a tunnel between 4 and 6. Now, 4 and 6 are very great numbers. 4 is the foundation of finally reaching a goal. 5 is the portal and the hardship between times. It's like that in-between phase, and then 6 gets to love and harmony. So you have to really, it's kind of like a testament of really having to push through to get to the good stuff, and really to endure the painful things to get to, you know, the fruit of the vine. Okay, so we have 5 of Pentacles here, and let me grab my notes. This is the Lord of Material Trouble, okay, and it's April 21st to 30th. So this is the time of Taurus. This is Mercury and Taurus. When Mercury and Taurus meet, Mercury's taken from that pure form of consciousness, and he's kind of plunged into the material realm. And it's, if you think about consciousness, when you're in conscious form, you can create anything you want automatically when you're in the realm of consciousness. But when you're in the realm of matter, there is laws to this world. So it's all about slowing things down and figuring out how to manifest things and how to make things work. And you're going to go, I call this the broke dick card. Like when you get this card, everybody laughs when they get this card in a reading, because I'm like, the broke dick card. Because in traditional readings, it does denote financial hardship, basically broke dickness. But it also, there's also a very spiritual side to the Pentacles. Number 5 is kind of cool because our bodies are made up in the shape of a star. We have 5 fingers, and our bodies and our hands are made to create change in this world. Those are the vehicles that we use to change matter. So there's very much an essence of change, but we have to remember that this is like the tunnel. This is the portal to the next space. So again, it's not going to last forever. It's a period of hardship. And then you have the imagery as well as being cast out from the spiritual world, because they're outside of the church. They're not receiving the warmth and, you know, the food from the pastors on the inside of the church. They're outside suffering in the cold because they're figuring out their way. They're figuring out their human form. They're trying to figure out how to use what they have to create what they want in this world. And again, if you get the Golden Dawn deck, they have the names of the cards on the deck, like the Lord of Material Trouble, and you get the essence of what the card's about by the title of the cards. I think if you're learning, Rider Waite and Golden Dawn are probably the 2 best cards to look at, because the imagery is similar, and also the Golden Dawn, like I said, they have the titles on the cards, which is really going to help you get the essence of what the card's about. So the next card is the 5 of Cups. This is the first decan of Scorpio, October 23rd to November 2nd. This is Lord of Loss of Pleasure. Now this is kind of like a death card. Maybe not a physical death, like someone actually losing someone, and it could also mean you losing someone, but it's also losing a relationship, losing things that were near and dear to you. In a traditional reading, this is loss, regret, pain, sorrow. There's a reason why this card is placed during Halloween, the time of Halloween, which is, October 23rd to November 2nd. That's because this is where the god, if you watched my videos before, this is where the god is stung by the Scorpio and he dies and goes into the underworld. This is Mars in Scorpio. Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio. Later on, when other planets were discovered and able to be seen, they added them into the zodiac. Initially, it was like the 5 planets ruled all of the 12 signs of the zodiac. But Pluto became the primary ruler in recent times of Scorpio because of the association with the underworld. And that's because Scorpio, it is death. And the death card is the counterpart to this card. But if you look at the imagery, you can stay in that period of loss, or you can move towards that bridge over the water, and you can conquer those deep feelings of loss and regret. So I feel like 5 is very much a time of choices. Like I said, it's how you deal with what you have. It's, using what you got to get to a better space. And these cards go back, the number 5 cards go back to the Hierophant. The Hierophant, it's a weird word. If you're not familiar, I'll just show you. I didn't show you the major arcana counterparts in this series yet. I did it with the court cards, but this is the Hierophant. And the Hierophant, he's kind of like a tricky card because it's about choices. It's about where you go from the 4. So it's a spiritual choice. So you can, in this world, you can choose spiritually to put yourself in a situation where you're institutionalized. So you can believe what you're taught. You can become a part of a religious group and stay within those institutions. Or you can become a spiritual leader and lead the flock. So he's leading the flock. That's the higher path. But he also represents being part of some type of order and institution, and where he's told what to do, and everybody falls into line. So I feel like 0 through 4 kind of happens in the spirit world. And when you get to 5, that's when you're thrust into the body. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Path of the Fool when we get to the Major Arcana. The Major Arcana is very sacred. It is the path of the soul. And then the Minor Arcana is what we're exploring now. And these are situations that the soul experiences through the period of life. It's what you're gonna those minor. That's why it's minor. These are the minor situations that you're gonna deal with. This is like your fights with other people, your relationships, your money, your jobs, all that stuff that we experience in the physical realm in the body while we're alive. But number 5 is very spiritual, and it's about change. And what are you going to do with your consciousness? Are you the 2 keys in the Emperor, in the Hierophant card, right at the bottom here? There's 2 different doors, okay? And you have the subconscious and you have the conscious, okay? And the conscious is what you want to choose. It's the higher path. Most people in the physical realm are operating on their subconscious. So that's why you have your programming on your TV. They program your subconscious to have you fall in line and to have you follow a certain agenda. So you can commit yourself to an institution, fall in line and follow the flock, or you can lead the flock or lead yourself. So those are some of the things that you can think about when you look at the number 5. Tomorrow I will do the Wands and Swords, and we will keep it moving. I hope you're enjoying this series. I hope you're learning stuff. Give it a like, give it a share, give it a comment, and I will see you all soon.